What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the next upcoming Lost Chapters, going live soon to Global Opera Omnia, featuring the return of APHMAU from Final Fantasy XI. Joining APHMAU as synergy partners are going to be Lion and Prish. Lion is going to be getting the repeat of her EX weapon featured on the banner for this Lost Chapters, and it's also going to have its realization. Now, APHMAU herself is going to be getting a rework, and she's going to be seeing the debut of her EX weapon featured on the banner alongside its realization. The Chaos difficulty boss fight we're going to be touching up on as well on this video is going to be against the Shift Frame type BW. That is going to be that single target boss fight where it likes to shift between a flying phase and a grounded phase, and it summons its two minion adds that can inflict the Doom debuff on your characters. Now, I do want to give a big shout out again, as always, to Dissidia DB and Rem, because all of the information that we're going to be talking about comes directly from that website. I also want to give a big shout out to the Tonberry Troop for the lovely infographics that they provide us, summarizing the entire kits of these characters that I talk about. I also want to give a shout out to a website called Dissidia Info. So this is going to be a website that is run by Macnol. If you guys don't know who Macnol is, he is the one that creates the whole like TCC challenges, always promotes them and things like that. So we're going to be giving him a shout out. And also as well, last but not least, is going to be the Crystal Chronicles podcast. You guys know who they are by now. They meet up every Thursday night and give us an amazing podcast regarding, you know, some of the more recent events for Global Opera Omnia. All right, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into the details for APHMAU Lost Chapters.
それ以上は近寄らないで。頼りにしてるから任せておけな。こういうのはどう？マウにはみんながいるもの。
Alright guys, so the way that I'm going to go about this particular presentation for APHMAU's Lost Chapters, specifically for what APHMAU gets with her rework and realization, and Lion's realization, is I'm going to be a bit more casual. We're just going to go straight into the Dissidia DB, so I could kind of give you guys my overall thoughts, you know, without having to do a narration, and let me know what you guys think about this style of presentation, or if you like it where I actually give the narration first and then do this. You know, I like to hear feedback from you guys, and, you know, I've been trying to mix things up lately, but anyways, we're going to go right into what APHMAU gets with her rework and realization. So when she first came out, APHMAU was known to be like the framed buff queen. She would give herself a unique buff from her skill 1 and skill 2, and what they would do is they would give her debuff evasion, they would give her defense up, you know, attack increase, they would give her max brave increase, and then afterwards she would give a framed buff to her allies called automaton, which would provide them, you know, a brave regen based on their int brave, and then afterwards her brave and HP attack commands would change after you use her skills, and the exact same unique buffs that she gives to herself that give her, like, you know, for example, the debuff evasion, she gives to her allies. So she just gave so much to the party right off the bat with her initial kit release, even just at 35 CP. So now let's see exactly what they gave this, in my opinion, one of the most efficient and powerful support characters that I've seen thus far. So her Shield Subverter, her skill 1, now when you use it, she's going to be healing the party's Brave based on 30% of max Brave before she actually deals damage. The Brave hits that she deals is now 4. She also gets a total Brave damage potency increase. She now has a 150% Brave overflow with this skill. And then her Nedging's Tactics, which is the unique buff she gives to herself, gets a turn duration increase of 2, also increasing the effects. So the Brave damage resist, the defense up are 20% increased in effects, and then the debuff evasion rate is at a 40% increase, and then the automaton unique buff that she provides to her to the allies gets an increase of 40%. And then afterwards, her fine tuning, which is her brave attack command, is also going to be getting a brave gain based on increased brave gain based on 10% of max brave, which is that's great. And then afterwards, the fine tuning unique buff she gives to her allies gets the exact same upgrades as Nedging's Tactics, so that 20% increase to brave damage resist and defense up, and then the 40% increase to the debuff evasion rate up. And then she also extends her own Nedging's Tactics and allies automaton by 1 turn when you're using fine tuning. So much more of an efficient ability, better extended durations, better effects. Overall, already pretty impressive just off of her skill 1 alone for what they gave her with this rework. And then her skill 2 6 element, now when you use it, she's going to be hitting harder with it with an increased brave damage potency. She can also brave overflow 150%. She now deals 50% HP splash damage to other targets, making this more efficient against groups of enemies. Now her Ovjang's tactics unique buff she provides to herself gets that 2-turn duration increase. It also gets its effects increased 20% up for the max brave up and attack up to herself, and 5% up for the speed up to herself. And also, when she applies Automaton, it increases the effects of that Brave regen for her allies by 40%. And then afterwards, the HP attack plus changes into optimization. And remember, now she's going to be dealing 2 hits with the Brave hits. It's also going to be increasing the total Brave damage potency. The optimization unique buff she gives to her allies now has an increase of 20% for the attack up and max Brave up, and also increasing the speed up by 5%. And same thing like with her skill 1, she increases the duration of Ovjang's tactics by 1 turn, and also any automaton that are active on your allies by 1 turn. So her abilities got much better. She gets more damage, more brave hits. She now has overflow. She has splash damage, and she has better versions of her buffs. So she was already good. Now she's amazing. So overall, I'm already impressed with what they've already given her with this rework. But let's go ahead and take a look at her EX ability because this is going to be pretty cool what they gave her with this EX ability. So her brand new EX weapon, which debuts on the banner, is called Kenkoken, which equips her with the EX ability called Activation and Imperial Authority. Now, what this does is when she uses this, she's going to be gaining a unique buff icon for 2 turns called Ovjang and Nejing, which are essentially the names of like her puppets that accompany her. And then she triggers Imperial Authority, which is a 4-hit melee brave attack plus HP attack with a 150% brave overflow. Now, while this unique buff icon is active, her brave and HP attack commands both change into the special HP attack command. So her brave attacks is going to change into HP attack plus Nejing, which when you use this, she increases the party's brave by 20% of max brave, deals 3-hit melee brave attack plus HP attack, increasing her own brave by 20% of the HP damage she deals with this command. She also applies to her allies 4 turns of not only automaton, but this time fine tuning. So she gives both of those buffs with this command. She also extends her own buffs by 1 turn, and this command has no action delay, does not increase that turn count outside of friend or summon. Pretty cool, right? And then her HP attack changes into HP attack plus Ovjang. When you use this, it's a 3-hit AoE magic brave attack plus AoE HP attack. It does increase the brave damage when you're using this on a single target. It has a brave overflow, 150%, and deals split HP damage if there are multiple targets. All targets are going to be afflicted with a 20% speed down for 4 turns after she uses this command, and then she also grants all of her allies Automaton and Optimization for 4 turns, and also extends her own buffs by 1 turn, and just like the other command, no action delay and does not increase turn count except for friend or summon. So at base alone, that's pretty loaded, especially giving her access to some really powerful brave and HP attack commands that are super efficient, because not only is she dealing HP damage after the end of it, but she's also giving her allies those extremely powerful unique buffs with really powerful effects. So much better just by looking at this alone without even taking a look at its limit break and realization. So when you limit break this weapon, before you realize it, you're gonna get that brave damage potency increase. You're also going to be getting access to a new unique buff that APHMAU gives to herself called Resolute Courage. She gets this for 4 turns, and what this does is her own max brave and attack are increased by 50%, and she also raises the party's initial brave by 40%. Keep in mind that the initial brave increase is applied to her allies as an aura, which complements her automaton buff because that is a brave regen based on initial brave. And then afterwards, she's going to be increasing the recast speed of this EX ability, moving it from slightly fast to fast. So this is actually a fast casting EX ability at base, fully limit broken, with no books invested into it just yet. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at what this does when you realize this weapon. So 0 out of 3, she's going to be getting an upgrade to the EX ability, now dealing 6 brave hits, dealing more brave damage, and also increasing the brave overflow by 50%. She's at 1 out of 3, she's going to be permanently increasing her max brave by 60% and attack by 40%. At 2 out of 3, she's going to immediately start the quest with 4 turns of her Ovjang's tactics and Nejing's tactics, and get this, she can immediately cast that EX ability. That's pretty crazy already at 2 out of 3 because we know how good her EX ability is. And then finally 3 out of 3, she gets another upgrade to that EX ability, pushing its Brave hits to 8, increasing the potency further and increasing the Brave overflow further. And then she also will be getting better versions of Nedging and Objang, you know, on the special HP attack commands under that unique buff icon. So now HP attack plus Nedging gets another Brave damage potency increase, now has a 120% Brave overflow, and now recovers the party's HP by 80% of the HP damage she deals, up to 30% of max HP. So now APHMAU can also heal your HP, can heal the party's HP. So that's like super value right there off of that alone. And then her HP attack plus Objang gets a 4-hit Brave hit increase, now gets more Brave damage potency and also an increase in the Brave overflow. Finally, when you level up this weapon and you fully realize it, you're going to unlock a D-type sphere called Buff Success Base All Long. This is an amazing sphere for APHMAU in particular because what this does is after the equipped character grants a buff, they raise the party's initial Brave by 10% so for 6 turns. So this would complement any kind of a support character or any character that likes to grant buffs and they have some sort of like a Brave regen. So very, very good D-type sphere. I would probably put this on APHMAU just because of how powerful her automaton unique buff is to her allies. But as you can see, guys, she was already good when she first came out. The only thing she really lacked was like damage and an EX weapon. Now she got a rework and she got an amazing EX weapon. So the way you play APHMAU is if you fully invest in this character, you purple her weapons and all of her gear, you immediately go into her EX, which activates her unique buff icon. Then when her next turn comes around, you use the Brave attack, the special Brave attack command, you use the special HP attack command, and then because there's no action delay and no added turn count, she's able to take another turn and you go right into one of her skills. And because this EX ability charges fast, next turn, she's probably going to have that EX ready and rearing to go. So the reason why she's so efficient and so powerful is because she can just keep refreshing those unique buffs over and over and over. So you never really have to worry about being in danger from like taking like a lot of Brave damage or, you know, taking a debuff. And now she can also heal your HP. And also she increases everybody's offense because she increases attack and max Brave. So this character is outstanding and she is definitely a very valuable investment. And I highly recommend that you guys consider building this character up. I know that she's not popular when it comes to like the Final Fantasy lore. She is from Final Fantasy 11, which was, you know, an MMO, you know, so she's not as known, but I feel like if you want to make your life easier, especially for late chaos stages that are increasingly difficult, and then Lufenia later on, she's definitely a character that I feel like is worth having. Now, if you're going to be giving her some artifact passives post-rework and post-realization, I would still focus on Unarmed Puppeteer Boost 2-star because that further raises her max Brave and attack, and then afterwards attack plus 108. And the reason why you want to stack more attack is because even with boards and even with, let's say, you know, all of her gear and all that good stuff, one of the things with APHMAU is her damage is still a little bit on the lower side, even with all the increases. So stack as much attack as possible. So then that way you won't find yourself hitting like triple digits or like single digits when we get to the much harder fights later on if you decide to take APHMAU into numerous party comps for those particular content. So that's what I would do in, you know, personally, if I were to build her artifact passives. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about Lion, because Lion does get an EX realization. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with Lion or you haven't really built the character, essentially what her gimmick was is that if she attacks an enemy with any of her skills or just in general that's not targeting her, she's going to be dealing more damage. She's also going to be giving herself like a crit boost, and also with her EX ability that she first got when she got this EX weapon, because this is a return, she's able to, you know, dispel buffs off of an enemy target. And what she also does is she recovers a usage of her sneak attack. So she's a very efficient, with some pretty good longevity damage dealing unit that has a really nice gimmick that complements tanks in the party, because if a tank will taunt and take all the aggro off of her, then Lion can just go to town with the amount of damage that she could deal when she's not being targeted. So her EX realization gives her the following. So her Walk the Plank is now going to be upgraded period, getting 6 brave hits and a tremendous brave damage potency increase. This is at 0 out of 3. And then while she's buffed, she gets access to her HP attack plus, which is a 2-hit melee brave plus HP attack, dealing extra brave damage when attacking enemies, not targeting herself. And she also gets a slight max brave overflow increase for this particular EX ability. Now, 1 out of 3, her Walk the Plank and Walk the Plank Light are now going to be inflicting action delay up on all enemies for 6 turns, and she's also going to be getting a permanent increase to her max brave and attack. 2 out of 3, when the quest starts, Lion will have access to 3 generic buffs for 8 turns, which are medium max brave up, large critical rate up, and small attack up. And then finally, 3 out of 3, when you're using her EX ability, now she's going to be dealing a 4-hit AoE melee brave plus HP attack 2 times, so she executes this twice. She raises her brave by 20% of the HP damage she deals after both HP attacks, so she's brave refunding herself each and every time she deals HP for each HP hit she does with this. And then afterwards, she gets a total brave damage potency increase and another brave overflow increase at 3 out of 3. The A-type sphere from this weapon is called Sneak Raging Attack Up, which when you have this equipped on a character, if they're attacking an enemy not targeting themselves, they raise their attack by 3% up to 5 times. So this is, well, it's definitely made for Lion, because Lion wants to deal as much damage as possible to enemies not targeting her, and this definitely complements her well. So this sphere screams Lion's name all over it. So Lion's EX realization is actually pretty good, because when she got her rework initially, her viability and her damage was actually not bad if you ran her with a tank. And now with this, she gets even better. I do like how they started her off with 3 buffs that pretty much complement her kit, which is the medium max brave up, large critical rate up, and small attack up. So that definitely will help her damage out. And now, if you fully 3 out of 3 her, which if you're going to be building Lion, since she is damage, you generally want somebody that is focused on dealing damage to be at 3 out of 3, because it's kind of hard to use. It's a little bit tougher to use them when they're not fully invested in, if they are just a damage dealer. But dealing AoE, dealing that AoE melee brave plus HP attack twice makes her damage a lot more consistent, and overall just makes her a better option if you're looking for, melee damage and the type of damage that can complement using a tank, because she works very well with tanks. So overall, solid realization. Lion by no means is not meta. You're not going to see her contending with the likes of like Aranea or some of the better characters that we already have, but she's solid. She's good at what she does, and if you run her with a tank, she could definitely shine. So now it brings us to the question: is this banner worth investing in? Is it going to be worth your hard-earned gems and tickets? I'm going to tell you right now, from my personal, opinion, that this banner is probably one of the better ones for the month of July, and we already know that the month of July is stacked with so many powerful banners. But for me personally, because of how powerful APHMAU is, because of how efficient she is, this banner is screaming for me pity, because I want APHMAU in particular, because she is so powerful. She gets multiple turns of being able to just refresh everybody's buffs, and then having access to her EX ability just immediately, and being able to refresh that EX ability so quickly. It just screams a ton of value for me as a support character. And then let's not forget, Lion herself is no slouch either. Not meta, but she's not bad. So the value for this banner for me is similar to like Alphano's banner, where Alphano was amazing and Ida was great. So it's the same thing like that, where APHMAU is great, but Lion, APHMAU is amazing and Lion is great. But for this one, because APHMAU is just so great and so amazing, I feel like for me this is a worthy pity. If you guys don't want to go that far deep into this banner, then tickets it is, or just a few multis. But it is definitely a banner that is, I feel like it's worth it, because of how good APHMAU is, how efficient she is, and just the amount of value she could bring, as a support character to your party. So overall, excellent banner. Excellent banner. All right, guys, so the last topic that we're going to be covering is going to be the Chaos difficulty boss fight against the returning boss, which is going to be the Shift Frame type BW. Now, remember when this boss first came out, it had 2 phases. It was either flying or it would be grounded. Depending on where it was at in its stance, it would change its weakness. In the Chaos version of this fight for this Lost Chapters, that is completely removed. So regardless whether it's flying or if it's grounded, it's not going to have any weaknesses or resistance changes. It is still going to be weak to thunder. However, it's not going to be resistant to anything else. It's not going to be weak to anything else, and it's not going to be absorbing or be immune to any types of damage. So it's not going to be one of the harder chaos fights. It's actually going to be a breather chaos fight, in my opinion. The cool thing about this chaos fight is that because there's only one weakness, which it's weak to thunder, you could be very flexible with the amount of parties that you could bring. Like, you could bring different party comps. Now, obviously, because this boss does like to inflict debuffs such as speed down, such as, max brave down, attack down, bringing, somebody that has debuff evasion would pretty much help trivialize this fight even further. But all in all, not going to be too much of a difficult fight. The only thing I'd definitely watch out for is when it summons its adds, those death machines, because they have the ability of, like, when they actually deal you brave damage, they could break you because, they're death machines. They have like that doom effect on their brave attacks, but not a difficult fight in my opinion. I think if you guys have a fairly good roster, you could be pretty creative with what you could bring for this particular chaos difficulty boss fight. All right, guys, well, this is going to go ahead and conclude my video for APHMAU's Lost Chapters. Again, I'd love some feedback. If you guys like this style of presentation better versus my other one, or if you guys want to see a little bit more or a little bit less, let me know in the comment section below. I'm always looking to take your feedback into consideration. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for all the support. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Mahal, everyone.